Hello, welcome to my channel, Lux to O, and today I wanted to share with you some fragrances that are new from Ormonde Jayne for summer 2025. I have several Ormonde Jayne fragrances and I have a video coming if I don't already have it up by the time this one is uploaded. And I have really decided to do a deep dive into Ormonde Jayne, and I have found the quality of the fragrances are really quite exceptional. Now, I will ask you to like, share, and subscribe right now before we get into the video. And if you don't like the video, then you can always unlike it. But I hope you won't do that. The first one is Ormonde Jayne Vetiveria. I was really looking forward to this one. I was tempted to blind buy it, but I didn't. I'm a member of Luxury Scent Box, and this is the way they send you your selection for the month. You select the samples, and they do have some high-end samples, some niche fragrances, which I quite enjoy being able to sample like this, rather than even a 2 ml decant. This really gives you enough liquid to really give it a good wear test and determine if the fragrance is for you. Yes, I think that subscription services for fragrances can be pricey. However, I also think in the long run it may not be that pricey because it does prevent me from blind buying fragrances and then later I end up not liking them so well. Vetiveria is one I'm glad I got through Luxury Scent Box, and it is a lovely fragrance, but it is very masculine to my nose. My husband wasn't fond of this one either. The green bottle that it comes in, which I'll pop a picture up, is absolutely beautiful. But if that beautiful green bottle arrived at my house, it would have to visit another home via Macari because it is masculine. If you would for a moment picture in your mind a rainforest and you have rays of sunshine that are piercing through the greenness or that lush green landscape perhaps you want to picture with the vetiver roots peeking up through the soil. That's what I think of. So at first spray, it's very bracing. It has a very fresh lime and bright citrus that does not do a disappearing act. It stays throughout the wear. And the aromatics are also added. Those are clary sage, which I love in scents, whether they are masculine or feminine. I truly love the clary sage note. And also juniper berry. Both of these notes are very invigorating. In Vetiveria, you also have Timur pepper, which contributes an effervescent quality to the fragrance. It becomes even more interesting with a clean, crisp lavender. Transparent florals. They are light and create more of an undercurrent of white florals, but it's not a floral fragrance at all, at least not to me. In the dry down, Vetiveria becomes very interesting and very unique. It's not smoky like a lot of vetiver fragrances are, at least I've experienced that, or leathery, which I've also found in other vetiver dominant fragrances. No, Ormonde Jayne indicates that the vetiver here is sourced in Java. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is, but it is softer and it is still very green, and it reminds me when I'm fishing. Stay with me. You don't have to like fishing to like the scent. But it reminds me of when I would go fishing and the scent of the damp earth, and then you would walk across a creek and it would have stones that would be smooth because of the water running over it, and they would also be very slippery if they were coated with moss. That's what Vetiveria reminds me of. It's just very natural, earthy, and it does have a mineral edge, and when I looked at Ormonde Jayne's website, it mentions rock rose, which does not have much of a fragrance. It's more of an evergreen type of contribution to the fragrance, and it can also be very aromatic, and I think that that's what helps to make this so green and kind of earthy. The tonka bean in here is very gentle and not heavy, and I think it is a nice addition to Vetiveria. This has a grounding quality that is just not too heavy, but it is very masculine to me, but a more polished kind of masculine fragrance, and in my opinion, I think it's daytime appropriate. This could add freshness to summer and could also work, I think, in cooler weather with a very impressive performance, as many other fragrances I have found do have. It's not a linear fragrance, which I like from Ormonde Jayne, but this one evolves over time and you really get the layers to the fragrance. I consider this a really exceptional example of Ormonde Jayne's masterful creation that offers us both refreshing take on a more traditional note. My husband did not enjoy this so much. He thought it was kind of sharp. I enjoy it, but as I mentioned several times, it's masculine. 3 words for Vetiveria would be fresh, aromatic, and bright. The next fragrance is Montabaco Cuba, and this is their 2025 release. They began the Montabaco series, and this is Cuba for 2025. And once this is gone this year, once it's sold out, it will not be available, and next year they'll come out with another release that fits in with the Montabaco series. It opens nicely with a freshness from a Orange Absolute, bergamot, and also mandarin, so you do have that citrus which creates quite a nice juicy, fresh type of scent in the opening. As with other fragrances that use these citrus notes, it's quite lively and uplifting. There's a crisp aromatic juniper in here and a very delicate freesia. And I can't tell you I get the freesia note as much, but what it does remind me of is a glass of icy cold water sitting on a glass table on a hot, humid day. The mid notes offer magnolia, which I dearly love, and a romantic sweet jasmine, and these are not heavy. There is also a dry wood accord that keeps it grounded and offers some sophistication. The base is where Cuba shines. The tobacco leaf is very present, as in the original Montabaco. Ormonde Jayne beautifully incorporates also a smooth, soft suede note in here as well. There is a slightly gourmand twist with the addition of a vanilla absolute and tonka bean, along with ICO super, which gives an airiness to it and a slight woodiness. I do detect a very, very light, barely detectable salt note, which I do not usually enjoy, but in here I find it very pleasant. And the way I discovered this is also through Luxury Scent Box. I think this scent, the Cuba, Montabaco Cuba, would be very nice for an evening, or certainly nice in cooler weather. Even though it's been introduced in the summer, I think you could wear it year-round. And to be honest, I think I might enjoy it better in the cooler weather. Fall, I am ready for it. The longevity of the fragrances, including this one, is quite impressive. And it really does develop over time, showing us all the layers that are so masterfully crafted and put into the fragrance. 3 words for this fragrance would be masculine, inviting, and charming. Lastly, we have Montabaco Aruba. Once again, I think this is one of those releases that once it's gone, it's gone. So you may want to get your nose on it, give it a try, and if you like it, you may want to buy a bottle of it so you'll have it, because it won't be here next year, but there's no telling what wonderful fragrances we'll get from Ormonde Jayne next summer. I'm looking forward to it. Montabaco Aruba is a citrus aromatic unisex fragrance. It is masculine to my nose, but it's also, if you are comfortable with masculine fragrances, it could be one you'd enjoy. I certainly am thinking of a trip I had to Aruba and really enjoyed it. So when I'm smelling Montabaco Aruba, it's kind of bringing back some nice memories for me. This offers a distinct take on their tobacco DNA. It's kind of infused with a sun-drenched feeling and that vibrant spirit of the islands, Aruba. This is a radiant citrus that softens the heart of Montabaco Aruba, and in the heart it really does blossom with a very lush floral bouquet. And you can discover the creamy sweetness of magnolia, which I adore, and the intoxicating depth of jasmine. You also have a very classic romantic take on rose, and a delicate, almost powdery, without being powdery, you do get a little woodiness of violet. The florals in here are not heavy and they are not indolic to my nose. They feel more airy and bright and kind of mirrors the vibrant, blooming flora that you'd find on an island. In the dry down, Montabaco Aruba reveals its connection to the Montobaco line. As we mentioned, it does have that iconic tobacco leaf that is very present, but I find in Aruba it's a little bit more refined to me and less smoky. I think it's incorporated into a very smooth, luxurious feeling fragrance with a slight leather accord. What truly seems to ground this tropical, elegant fragrance is a rich, creamy sandalwood. I didn't know what that was, but it's a very specific type of sandalwood molecule. So basically what you're getting is that scent of sandalwood. And it does provide a very soft, tenacious type of base that is quite captivating. And it gives you an exotic type of subtle spiciness here as well, with a very warm cardamom. That's another reason why I think it would also shine in the fall and be quite nice. It's cool, smooth warmth that lingers beautifully. Overall, Ormonde Jayne's Montabaco Aruba is a masterpiece of contrast. It's cool and smooth, yet it has an addictive warmth. It's incredibly fresh and floral, and yet grounded by the signature tobacco, and it has that nice leather in here. It kind of exudes that effortless, chic sophistication we're looking for, but it also has a sun-drenched quality that doesn't really make you feel like you're on a luxurious island retreat, but if you close your eyes, you might be able to picture what that would look like. Lovely fragrance. Who is it for? I would say Montabaco Aruba, as with others in this, is more of a masculine fragrance to me. However, if I had to choose one that is unisex, I would say Montabaco Aruba might be it. But I would not say to blind buy these. I would say you do need to try them first. And as I mentioned, this is from Luxury Scent Box, a nice way to try it. I did not see the Montabaco series with Scentbird, which has many of Ormonde Jayne fragrances, but I did see it with Luxury Scent Box. So that's sometimes why I like to have a couple of different subscription services for fragrances. This is more of a refined interpretation, if you would, of a tropical scent. It is sophisticated, but it does have that tobacco leather base. And I do think it's going to be great for the fall. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Please like, share, and subscribe. If there's a fragrance you love from Ormonde Jayne, or if there's one from the past with the Montabaco line, please let me know. I'd love to know your take on it. And let me know what you're looking forward to next summer. Yes, I'm already dreaming of 2026. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you in my next fragrance video, my fragrance friends. Thank you. Goodbye.